So the Metacritic scores came out for Saints Row, the reboot. I guess this is what technically Saints Row 5. And for here with the Xbox Series X, we're looking at a 67. Look at PlayStation 4, the scores we're looking at a 50 and a 60. Look at Xbox One, we're looking at 60 and an 80. So I guess that averages out to a 70. PlayStation 5 we're at 64, and PC we're at 70. So it looks like a PC is actually the best platform out of all of these. It's sitting at an average score of 70. So it kind of made me think about what's going on with the industry right now. Just imagine to yourself, what other industry would this be excusable? Imagine you go to Best Buy and you grab a Blu-ray. You bring the Blu-ray home, you pop it in the Blu-ray player, and you go to play it. And immediately the movie is playing with like really, really rough versions of CG. Like we're talking mesh skeletal figures of CG and halfway completed backgrounds and that kind of thing. You'd be pretty annoyed. And imagine that the Warner Brothers or whoever the studio is says, just give us some time. We'll have it fixed. We're still working on it. So you went and you bought this movie. You put it in, it's still incomplete, and Warner is telling you, we're working on it, we'll have it done. In about 4 months or so, a patch comes to the Blu-ray player, delivered by BD Live, mind you. And all of a sudden, all the CG and everything like that is somewhat fixed. It's still a little rough, but it's mostly fixed. And now you can finally sit down and enjoy the movie. Imagine you're browsing Netflix and you're like, I want to watch Stranger Things. So you put on Stranger Things, and while you're watching Stranger Things, within the scenes, they actually have outtakes that they didn't take out of the final edit. You're like, what's up with this? And again, showing rough CG, not fully complete CG. Imagine for a moment, you download a book on your Kindle, and you're sitting here, you're reading this book, and it's not fully proofread. You see typos all over the place. You see incorrect sentence structure. You see lines drawn through certain sentences and other things like that. And it's just a complete mess. And you're told by the publisher, just give us a few months. We'll have it sorted out for you. Just give us a few months. Imagine you go on Spotify and you download the newest album from your favorite band and you're listening to it and the mix is all wrong. There's bad takes within the songs and that kind of thing. The band tells you, yeah, we're aware. We're working on it, guys. We'll have it figured out. We'll have it sorted out here in a few months. Just work with us. You know, in no other industry is this acceptable to ship a incomplete product. So I don't understand why with video games, out of everything else as far as consumer entertainment, with video games, it's okay to ship an incomplete product. And it's okay to tell your consumers, your audience, your player base, just give us a few months, we're working on it. We'll have it sorted out for you eventually. In the meantime, enjoy this broken piece of trash. Have fun, guys. We're working on it. In no other industry would this fly. In no other industry would this be accepted. In no other industry would this be condoned. Yet somehow in video games, we just put up with it. We accept it as status quo. There's nothing we can do as the audience, as a player base. We can't do anything about this. We just have to sit back and take it up the tailpipe. So I'm sitting there looking at these Metacritic scores, and I'm just wondering to myself, what is it that we can do as a player base where we can finally fix this? And it's really interesting. Like I go and I purchase a Switch game. I rarely have these issues with Nintendo games on Switch. The other day I purchased Live Alive. Put the cartridge in the Switch, boot up the Switch, go to do an update. It says you're running the most up-to-date version. There is no day one patch. I was talking to my cousin, and he said he went and picked up Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered on the Switch last week. And he put the cartridge in, he goes to update, and it says you're running the most up-to-date version. We're talking a game that came out 2 years ago, and it's still running the most up-to-date version from the cartridge from a 2-year ago release. All these games, we go and we pick them up at release date, we go and pick them up after release date, we go look for a update, and it tells us we're running the most up-to-date version. So why is it Nintendo can give us a fully fleshed out, complete product? But if I go to somebody like Deep Silver, if I go to somebody like Rockstar, if I go to somebody like Bethesda, if I go to somebody like Naughty Dog, if I go to somebody like 343, if I go to somebody, I mean, any of these major studios, it doesn't matter. You always have to get some buggy piece of broken crap off the disc or when you download it, and then you have to sit there and wait 3 months for them to finally fix it and patch it and get it sorted out, so you have a halfway competent product so you can play. But by that point, we've already played the busted, broken game. We've already played it. We're moving on to the next thing. You missed your window. You missed your opportunity. First impressions is everything. And in this industry, first impressions is always crap. We don't get a fully realized vision of what the director intended until 6 months down the road. But by that point, everybody who wanted to play the game has already played the game. Nobody is going, man, it's 6 months later, I'm gonna check in and see how Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition is doing. I haven't played this sucker in a while. No, we played it. It was busted. We either threw it in the trash, or we went and got our money back, or we just put it on the shelf or deleted it off the system, never to look at it again. So I posted about this in a Xbox Facebook group that I'm in, and there were several people that were responding to this, and they were saying, well, we just got to wait for the day one patch. We got to wait for the day one patch. Why should we have to wait for a day one patch? Why isn't the game complete before it goes gold? Whatever happened to that? Back in the day, when they made Morrowind, and Morrowind is like the biggest game ever back in the day, when they made that, it was done. It was pressed on a disc and it was done. There were no patches. There were no updates. There was nothing like that. It was done. So I don't understand why a game that huge with so much stuff going on under the hood, they could do it back then, but now nobody seems to be able to do it. And why is it that we as gamers, we just accept the status quo, which if the same thing happened in the movie theater, same thing happened on the Kindle, same thing happened on Spotify, same thing happened with a myriad of other types of consumer entertainment, there would be pitchforks and torches and people being dragged out in the street. Yet we just, as gamers, we just accept it. There's got to be a better way. And I don't know where I'm really going with this. I just want to have a kind of a talking point about this, that is kind of, it's screwed up. And I think that there needs to be a solution. I don't know what the solution is, but it'd be nice if there was a solution. But anyway, I guess that's all. So thanks for watching and peace out.